minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay. Rep your city. Let me see the mic. Rep your city. Give me the mic. Rep your city. I got you. Rep your city. I'm gonna tell you how mine. Rep your city.
It's time for us to go live, so rep your city. I really would appreciate if y'all roll with me. Feeling this music cause it makes me wanna step. And if you don't want to, then you lying to yourself. Cause every time we party, we gon' have fun. I don't know about you, but I'ma rep where I'm from.
Rep your city. Okay. Rep your city. Let me see the mic. Rep your city. Give me the mic. Rep your city.
Welcome, everyone, to the RYC Live show this evening. This is Rep Your City RYC Live Fresh Friday. And my name is Duro, aka Artistic. I am your host for tonight. And welcome, everyone, to this Fresh Friday night. This is me in the Windy City broadcasting live from Chicago, and we circulate around the world. But it's 8:02, and it's a nice fall Friday night. And we have a special guest tonight on the show. One of our guests that we have tonight that's going to be joined by family is a lady named Bonnie Gates. And she is one of the members of 101st Place, a block in which many of us grew up on, over the years, and some of which, and we're connected to some of the family members and friends that still lives on the block to this day. So we're going to talk about her history, family history, her experiences, and things that she'd like to share with us. To learn a little bit more about how we grew up and how things happen in our neighborhood, on our block, and in our community on the south side of Chicago. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my friend, Bonnie Gates. There she is. Welcome to the RYC Live show. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine. How you guys doing?
All right. Welcome to the show. So we want to get just right into it. I'm looking forward to, and we got some of our family and friends tuning in already. So do us a favor right now, if you can share this broadcast, share. Everybody from 101st Place and all of the family members and friends that are able to see this. It is also being broadcast on YouTube as well. RYC Live or Rep Your City. So I would like to go all the way back to the beginning, because I thought it was interesting when we had our block reunion, how you were saying that before you all moved on 101st, you all were living in the projects.
Yes, we were. We were living in Cabrini Greens on the north side of Chicago. We actually moved out the same day that Martin Luther King was murdered.
Wow.
So I can remember us driving on the Dan Ryan, and the stench of the smoke from the rioting that was going on. I can actually smell that right now.
Wow.
And looking out the windows at just smoke in the sky.
Okay. Wow.
And when my mom and my dad moved into Cabrini Green, my mom actually said she thought she was moving up, because at that time when they opened up the projects, it was totally integrated. So everybody lived together, and slowly everybody, everyone that was not Black started moving out. And one of the things that was done was that the banks was giving the other races loans, but they were not giving them to the black families.
Okay.
So that's how, it turned totally black in the projects.
Okay. So
But,
some of the families were getting loans to the point to where
yeah,
they could move out.
Yeah, so that they can move out into your Roselands. And a lot of them were in Roseland when we moved there. A lot of those families that came from the different projects in Chicago were now living in Roseland when we moved there.
Gotcha.
And I can remember when we moved in there, I think it was only about 5 black families on that block.
Okay.
And the rest of the families were white.
Okay.
And they slowly moved out. And the strange thing about it, we never seen those families move.
Wow.
I never seen any of those families move.
Now, Bonnie, can you elaborate a little bit more, because I'm trying to understand how that's possible, and I'm sure some of the viewers are trying to understand, especially if they wasn't around during that time. So, how did people move their entire family and their belongings out?
They did it at night. They did it at night.
Okay.
When we were asleep.
Wow. And why do you think people were doing it that way?
Well, I think the fear. I think most of it is the fear of the unknown. A lot of times the only thing that other races know about us, the black community, is what they see on the news. And what they see on the news is always negative, a lot of it. Okay. So that puts fear into people.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and I was going to school when I started first grade at Bennett there in the neighborhood, and I had white friends and everything there. And slowly I looked up, and it was just nobody but black kids.
Wow. Interesting. And for the record, what year did you say your family moved on the block?
1968.
Okay.
The day that Martin Luther King was murdered. They were rioting.
Wow.
The whole city of Chicago was just one big old smoke ball. That's what it smelled like.
Wow.
And I was a little girl back then. I was only, when you started, 6 or 7 years old.
Wow. Real quick, I want to send a shout out to some of our family and friends tuning in. I want to send a shout out to my homeboy and crewmate Ice Joe checking in, better known as Boo, Big Booski checking in the platform. Send a shout out to our homegirl Regina Brown from California checking in.
Oh yes, hey Regina.
And
family.
Shout out to Pam Chase checking in.
Woo. Hey Pam.
Yes. So and if you all have any comments or questions that you'd like to ask Bonnie, please feel free to mention those comments in the comment area, and we will share them. Let's see here. Here's one that Boo I'll highlight it. He says, "I'm loving this already. I didn't know Bonnie lived in Cabrini."
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we actually did. My mom was at the time my mom worked as a scrub nurse at Northwestern Hospital, and my dad worked at in a container warehouse. Mm-hmm. But by the time we moved, shortly after we moved into on the block, my mom became an LPN and my dad became a truck driver. So, they were able to keep things going, for our family.
Okay. All right. So let's even go back a little further for whatever you can remember. But I'm going to pull up this picture here of your parents, and you can share whatever you like, in terms of what you can remember from their history. So here's a picture. Beautiful picture, by the way.
That's Yes,
So
my
what part of
mom and my dad, and my dad, both of them were from Arkansas. My mom was from a town called Searcy, and my dad was from a town called Luxola, Arkansas.
Okay.
And they married young. I think they were. I can't really remember, but I think they were teenagers when they married.
Okay. Okay.
And they came to Chicago. And when they came to Chicago, they lived on the west side. And back then, this was back in the 50s. You know, black people lived in like tenements, like what we call studio apartments.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they lived in until
Okay.
they could save their money and everything to move out. And
Okay.
it was family. It was real family orientated, and people helped one another.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they helped with children and everything. If I had to go to work, then Miss Jones next door helped me with my kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why when we moved to Cabrini Greens, my mom said, I thought we were moving up because it was beautiful. She said
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
Mm. Mm.
Beautiful.
Mm.
But slowly, like I said, it started to get segregated, and nobody wanted to care.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and
You know, I think.
I think that's primarily because black people do not complain. We need to learn how to complain
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I remember hearing, you know, some of my family members talking about. Oh, let me send a shout out real quick to Kim Chase checking in the building. Yeah, she says, hey neighbor.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah. So I remember, you know, some of my family, because my family, my grandmother came from Mississippi. She was from Yazoo, Mississippi. And just like, you know, most families, most black families, they moved from the South up north. And so when my family came up north, they moved to Indiana. And then from Indiana to Chicago. And when they came to Chicago, my family lived in the Robert Taylor projects.
Mm-hmm.
So
A lot of those projects were extremely beautiful.
yeah,
That's what my mom told me. She said they were beautiful. They
yeah,
mowed the lawn. They every day she said they would come through and mop the floors and the hallways and everything in the buildings, but then slowly it just stopped.
yeah. And what's so interesting is about that is you don't hear about a lot of the early days of what the projects was like. You know, you hear more about the later years when it became bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying about the how the neighborhood when we moved to Roseland, how it was so quickly switched because the news, when they talk about the projects, especially then, that was the negative part of it. It was not talking about the woman that was going to college to be an AOPN or the man that was going to school to become a truck driver. They were just showing the negative parts of it.
Right.
You know, and so that mindset gets stuck in these people's mind.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't want to get to know that our life is just like theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. Okay. So you all moved on to the 101st Place block in 1968, like you said, when you know, and that was kind of like still kind of around a tough time, you know, throughout America because we were still under the struggle of the civil rights back then.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Although I didn't encounter too much of, you know, that type of racism that went on, but my older brother, he said that he did. That you know, some of the white guys in the neighborhood would chase him and throw rocks at him and whatnot as he was trying to get to and from school and whatnot. So it was just like some of the surrounding suburbs.
Yeah.
I can remember back in the 80s. and me and my mom and my two sisters, we would go shopping at what's the name of that mall out there? River Oaks.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom liked to look at beautiful homes because she had plans of moving out there.
Okay.
And we would ride through and look at houses out there, and they would actually have signs in their yard saying, "Niggas, we ain't going nowhere."
Wow. Wow.
But slowly they have moved from out there.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, you know, it's sad that, you know, racism even had to become a thing of discussion because, you know, obviously, you know, the Bible and God says different, you know, that man was created equal no matter what skin color you
Right.
had, right?
Right. Well,
at the end,
you know, if you lived in South Bend, you couldn't. I can't tell that there's any racism going on out here.
okay. Yeah.
Everybody lives together out here.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was, you know, many years after I had my son, and I'm going to say this about the north side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
After I had my son, I got my own apartment and I moved way up north, almost to Evanston.
Okay.
And I was just blown away because once again, everybody lived together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You had all races living together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was just shocked because I thought we had our own neighborhood, they had their own neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From living on in Roseland, because you know once you can drive down 103rd, and once you get to Western and you cross over, it's their neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can tell the difference too.
Yeah. 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 No, you
On
absolutely.
the north side, everybody lived together. It wasn't no riding through and saying, "Okay, the black folks live here. Be careful."
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I like to use the analogy because, you know, I started going on the north side when I got into high school. So and that was a different experience for me. But, you know, I remember, you know, just going into communities on the north side and comparing them to the communities on the south side. And like you said, it was much different. Even some of the dog owners. So people that own dogs on the south side were much different from the people that own dogs on the north side. The dogs on the south side, even to this day, you know, the dogs on the south side of Chicago are kept in the backyards or, you know, areas where they can kind of be contained and they're kind of vicious. But when you go on the north side, the dogs are very friendly. You know, they like family members. You know, they walking around with clothes and everything, right? So it's definitely different experience.
Yeah, it's a total difference. It's a total difference.
Yeah.
And when we moved in that neighborhood was simply beautiful. Beautiful. And you know, Roseland, the area where you go shopping at, that was almost like our downtown because it was so nice.
Yeah.
It was like our downtown. You know, in that neighborhood because it was that nice.
Yes.
And one of the things, all the young folks in our neighborhood, they got a pool up there on 95th by the high school every day in the summer. Every kid in the neighborhood would walk up there to go swimming.
Okay.
Everybody. Okay. We went swimming every day. Even if it rained, we'd be mad, hoping that it'll stop so we could go swimming.
Now, wait, where did y'all go swimming again?
At 95th, the school up there at Harlem. You know, it's park, and they have that swimming pool.
The Abbott Park, right?
Yeah, I noticed that they don't even have it open now.
Yeah.
But we went every day. Every kid in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Kim says, my sweet puppy is a north side dog on the south side. She said, y'all had the swimming pool to every single summer.
Yeah. My dad brought us a pool, and we had a pool in our backyard.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. So we I mean, that neighborhood holds so many memories for me. So, a
Yeah.
lot of good memories and things that I shouldn't have seen. And,
Yeah. Well,
but
let's talk about some of the great memories because I have my memories as well, and I just remember like when I would walk down the block, because I lived all the way on the other end of the block, right? So when I would come from the State Street end over to the Michigan end, obviously we lived on the same side. We lived on the south side of 101st versus the north side. And so, when I would come down the block, I had a straight shot down and I would always pass you all's house. And you all I remember you all would always have a big family. Some of you all would be sitting out in front of the house, in chairs, congregating, talking, and just enjoying yourself, and I just knew that you all had a very big family. You know what I mean? You can tell like some families were bigger than others on the block.
yeah, well, it was my mom and my dad had 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we moved in that building, it was a 2-flat. So my mom, she brought her sister and her kids. She had 5 children, and they lived in the upstairs apartment. So that's why it was like 11 kids in that building. 11. Okay. We grew up with 11 kids, and
wow.
So yeah. And we were very family orientated. My dad and my mom and my auntie, they taught family love,
Mm-hmm.
and they enjoyed having family get-togethers and things like that with their family.
Okay.
My dad comes from a large family, but he comes from, I think it was 13 of them. And my mom, it was just, 5 of them. Yeah, 5.
Okay. Let's look at this picture here of you and your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I love old pictures, by the way. So what year was this picture taken again, Bonnie?
That was probably taken I know it was taken in the 70s.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I don't know how old DeWitt looks like. He might have been 5 years old.
Okay. Well, can you give the viewers the identification of everyone in the photo so that they can understand who they're looking at?
Okay. Up there in the top 2 pictures, one of them is me, and then the other one is my brother Ronnie, and then that underneath me is Billy holding DeWitt, and then underneath Ronnie is Barbara, and then to the side is Pam.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This is a fascinating photo, very vintage, and it's it's so nice that you all took this family photo inside the block, the home off the block.
Yeah, that's where we took it at.
Yeah. Very nice.
That picture, it brings back a lot of memories. I look at because we lost 2 family members, my brother Ronnie and my sister Barbara. So it kind of stirs up some emotions with me.
Yeah. I remember your brother. I remember him. Here's another one of him.
Yeah, that's Ronnie.
Pictures do, like they say, speak 1,000 words, and sometimes even it could even mean more than that. But it encapsulates a time period that you just can't go back to. But this always takes you back there when you see the photograph.
Yeah. Those I call them the good old days. We had so much fun back then. Oh my God, we had good times.
And then this picture this is another fascinating picture right here. Can you explain to everyone who they're seeing in this picture for those that are not familiar?
The one in the tank top, that's Ronnie. The one in the middle look like he's holding the ball. That's Aaron Redden. And then the other one is my cousin, Cookie.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. He's without, and they were all good friends. They hung together every day, and we did a lot of things together.
Now this picture looked like it may have been taken in the 70s or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think that was in the 70s.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a black and white photo.
Yeah, that's when we wasn't there. I don't even think they were teenagers. We were still going to Bennett back then.
Wow. Wow. So tell us a little bit about your brothers and sisters when you all were coming up. You know, what are some of your fond memories of them, coming up on the block and things that you all did?
Well, one of the things, my older sister, she started a club called the 4-H Club,
Mhm.
and we all participated in the 4-H Club. And one summer, we was able to go to camp. All the
Mhm.
kids on the block was able to get the money and collect it, and we went for a whole week. And we
Okay.
had one of the best times. I still think about that and think about how much fun we had that week, because
O-
we went to that camp, and it was a little bit of everybody there. And some of the things that we did, a lot of us had never did before, like canoeing and having a campfire and that type of stuff. We had never did those type of things before, so we
Wow.
were exposed to some things that we had not been exposed to by going to camp.
Wow. And that was something that your sister started.
Yeah, my older sister Barbara. Now another
Wow.
thing we did when we got a little bit older in our teens, we had a
Uh-huh.
friend named Ronald Hall, who's deceased now.
I remember
He
Ronald.
was into music,
Hmm.
and he taught a lot of the young men that now know how to play instruments like the guitar. He taught a lot of them how to play it, and we had the very first studio on the block,
Hmm.
because yes. We had it. I think we would have it in his basement, and we
Okay.
would sing and make tapes and everything. We had so much fun back then.
Wow. You know,
Yeah.
it's so interesting that you're sharing this because it all makes sense now. The more we talk about our history, you can see how it connects. Because,
Mhm.
when me and the fellas from off the block started rapping, and Ronald Hall invited us into his house and said, "Hey, would you guys like to record some of your music?" We had no idea that he had already been doing that prior to doing it with us.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't nothing new for him.
He had us all thinking we could sing and everything. We made so many. We would make film back then. They had the film, and we would
Okay.
make film of us, and he would record us singing and whatnot.
Wow.
I wish we had some of those film, because we used to have so much fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful. Kim she says, OMG, the 4-H.
Yeah, the 4-H Club. Yep. That was about, I think I was about 9 years old when we went
Uh-huh.
to camp. It might have been 9 or 8 years old.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know how we hooked up with the 4-H, but
Okay.
we were in it. We had our own one running on that block. And we all went to camp one summer, and that was so much fun.
Wow. Wow. Nice. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And like you said, when I think back too of coming up on the block, it definitely was more. It had more of a feeling of community, back, in the earlier days, because like now, it seems like a lot of areas throughout communities in a lot of neighborhoods is not people are not concerned about what's going on with other people today. But back then, you had to kind of be concerned about what you did because the neighbor was going to see you and they would report back
Right,
to your family.
right, right. It was not anyone that lived on that block that we didn't know.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
and we knew their parents too, because if their parents caught you doing something you ain't had no business doing, they was gonna come and tell your mother and your father, or they were gonna say something to you.
exactly, exactly. Yes, yes. So I
And
have
we
another.
really didn't. And you know something, you all ventured off of the block. We really didn't venture too much off of the block other than going to school, you know. We didn't
Okay.
go and socialize off the block. We always
Okay.
socialized with one another.
Yeah. 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 And that's why I say, things continue to develop and change over a period of
Mhm.
time. But like you say, coming up during your time, was more togetherness, on the block, right there on the block,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Here's another picture here I thought was nice.
That's me in the middle. That's my oldest brother in the tan shirt. And then that's my brother Ronnie, who's deceased now on the
Yeah.
other side.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice picture. Yeah. So you went to Bennett Grammar School.
Okay, I went to Bennett. I went to Bennett until I was like in 5th grade.
Mhm.
And then my mom took us out of all of the last 4 of us out of Bennett, and we went to a Christian school called Evangelical Christian School.
Okay. Okay.
So I went there until I graduated from 8th grade.
Okay.
Read
Now
the Bible.
where was that? Where was that school at?
That was located on 110th in State, and then it was another. They had like the grammar school there, and then the high school, the medium school was like on 113th in State.
Okay. Okay.
And then after going to school, Christian school, reading the Bible, singing church songs every day, doing all the Christian things.
Right.
When I graduated, they had just built Corliss. I think Corliss had only been open for like 2 years, and I
Okay.
went there first,
Okay.
and I was in total shock.
Why you say that?
Well, I wasn't used to seeing people fighting and cussing and all of that. That didn't go on where I went.
Yeah.
I had to get myself acclimated to it.
So
I did one. Huh?
No, I was gonna say, so they were doing that early on when the school opened.
Oh yeah. Oh
Wow.
God, yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah. So then when I left there, I did 1 year there. And then by the end, my sister had graduated. My sister Pam had graduated. And my mom just put both of us in Carver High School
Okay.
out there by the gardens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, we had a great experience out there.
So that school was much better.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
When I went to Corliss, I would see a fight every day. I was like petrified. I'm like, oh, I gotta learn how to fight.
Wow.
Yeah, it was something else. I was so glad when my mom said, "You going to school with Pam?" I said, "Okay." At first, we were kind of scared to go out there because that the All Gale Gardens is a project.
Exactly.
But believe it or not, those were some of the sweetest people.
Okay.
Sweetest people. We met some very nice people out there.
Okay. What year did you come out of high school?
I came out in 1980.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that was definitely, that time.
That was a transitional period.
Yeah.
Things was changing.
Yeah.
That's even when the neighborhood started to change.
Right.
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 That's when I like to think that the demise of our neighborhood, the downgrading of our neighborhood was caused by the crack epidemic, because when that entered our neighborhoods, that took away all respect and everything. People just didn't care about nobody. It was just horrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It was all about money.
Yeah.
I don't care if I hurt your family. I don't care if your grandma can't feed her husband, or her husband is, I don't care if my 14-year-old friend is selling drugs to your mother. That's how it was. It was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's definitely the very same sentiment with most neighborhoods that it entered in. It definitely destroyed
Yeah.
and
It
wrecked.
destroyed it
Mm-hmm.
took away a lot from our community.
Mm-hmm.
But the number one thing was respect,
Mm-hmm.
because young people don't have no respect for elders no more.
No.
Back then we had respect for elders.
Yes.
But
Yes.
once that drug came in our neighborhood, and it just turned to flip. And that's when the Roseland down there on 100, past 111, that's when that all started to go down too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stores
Yeah.
started closing.
Yeah, like you said, it was because I remember my mom and family members used to take us up to Roseland a lot to shop,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that was a big thing for us to go down to Rose and go to J.C. Penney's and Kresge's, and they had a Walgreens, and they still got they had a Three Sisters, and then they got they had a Three Sisters, the steakhouse down there. They had a lot of stuff. Now, another thing that we used to do on the block, all of us used to do, they had the show down there. And I think on Wednesday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
You could pay $1 to go to the show. We always went to the show.
Oh, okay.
So in certain movies, we seen like 1,000 times. Yes. Another thing we would do, because they would have the super transfer Sundays on the bus. To get on the bus and we would go to the museum practically every Sunday.
Okay.
All the kids on the block, that was our hangout spot.
Okay, I got a question for you from Big Boo. He says, let's see here, let me tap on it. Hold on. He says, Bonnie, by any chance, you know what year the movie theater closed down?
I believe that closed. Oh, I think it was before the 80s.
Okay.
And I think both of them, because there was another one on like 100 and I think that's 118th that we would go to too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But we went to both of the ones down in Roseland all the time.
Wow. That's interesting. I remember the steakhouse, if it's the same one. The Ranch Steakhouse, I believe it was called.
Yeah. Yeah, we went there too. Pepe's Tacos, and it was just like our own little personal downtown.
Yeah. And then they had the Gately's up there back then too.
Yeah. Well, you know something? Because I'm not really a sports person, I never went to Gately's.
Oh, okay.
The Gately's, you talking about the stadium or Gately's the store?
The store.
Because they had the Gately's store. Yeah,
Store.
I love that store. Yeah, I love that. But then I'm thinking that you're talking about Gately's Stadium down there by Corliss.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that, but I was mostly talking about the store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We went down there all the time too. That was one of my mom's and dad's favorite place to buy our uniforms.
Yeah. And then, do you remember the Army surplus store that they had up there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that. There was a lot of stuff down there.
Yeah, the old fashioned donuts was down there. Up in, I think they still there, right? They still there, right?
Yes, they are. Still delicious. Still delicious.
And hey, let me ask you, do you remember, and the reason why I remember this is because, when we would come out and drive down the block, go down Michigan, and we would come to 103rd, right there, 103rd in Michigan. So there was a gentleman who used to sell newspapers, and he went by the name of Waldale.
Yes, I remember him. I remember. You know what? My mom would make one of us go buy her a newspaper every day. So I remember him. Yes.
And
yes.
He had the newspaper stand right there on the corner.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And see now where they have the I think that's the daycare. That used to be a grocery store.
Okay.
And down there where the Dollar Tree, that was another one, another grocery store. We had like A&P's, and Jewel's was where the Dollar Tree is.
Okay.
Slowly we looked up and they were gone.
Yeah, I remember A&P's because my uncle used to work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could just walk to the store and everything.
Boosie, I swear
And
I was about
the liquor store that was on the corner, it was there when we moved. That was the only liquor store in that neighborhood.
Yeah, and they're gone now.
Yeah. Well, after that last riot that they had, they just decided not to come back, I guess.
Okay. Boosie, I swear I was about to say something about the Army surplus.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. Good times.
And it was so pretty and everything. It was just really nice. It was very nice living in the neighborhood.
What about our record store down on 103rd, Metro Music?
Oh yeah, I remember that one too. I remember. Don't you remember? They would have stars come there.
Yeah.
So they had H-Town. Was it? Yeah, H-Town.
Okay.
And I took a couple of the teenager girls down there to see them, and there was a long line down there to see them.
Okay.
But I went down there to see H-Town. They were there signing, like they little CDs and stuff. Okay.
Now, Boo said he says Jules used to be a skating rink too, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, wait a minute. No, I think it's two buildings down there. I think that was where the skating rink is.
Yeah, because I was talking to someone that was around around our neighborhood too, and he kept saying, he said, "Daryl, you remember the skating rink?" And I said, "What skating rink?" He said, "That was on 103rd." And I said, "Where?" And then Steve said, "Yeah, it used to be a skating rink over there." I said, "Man, I remember that."
I thought too. I remember that a lot of your young guys would go skating, like Kevin and Andre and Sam and Kendricks. They all went skating all the time.
Yeah, well, when we were going, we used to go to the one on 87th Street. That's the way we used to go on 87th.
Oh, I thought y'all was going to that one.
Yeah, see the one that was on 103rd. That I don't remember that one. So I guess that one was kind of doing its thing in the 70s, but I was so young then, so I don't remember that one.
That was in the I think that was the 80s, because you all were like teenagers then.
Yeah, in the 80s. Yeah. In the 80s, when we were in the 80s, we were going to the one on 87th Street.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then Kim she said Metro Music, that was the spot.
Yeah. And then they had to close because now we got the internet. Don't need it. Yeah. Not unless you want to buy a CD for your car,
Yeah. Now also,
I've seen it go from records to 8 tracks to CDs to now you just turn on your internet and put some earphones in your ear and jam.
Yeah. There was this Bruce said there was the rink and the Loop on 95th. Now I remember the Loop too, because the Loop was over by where my mom used to live in Princeton Park, and that was before the Trinity Church was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah. It's interesting how stuff has definitely changed over the years, and like I was just thinking too when we was at the reunion of how the block used to be a two-way.
Yeah, it used to be a two-way.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. And the block parties that we would have when I was coming up, the fire trucks would come out and turn on the hydrant. Everybody would be out there. Everybody.
Yeah.
But now a lot of the neighbors just want to be to themselves,
Yeah.
They don't socialize like, they did when we were young.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a different time, and I think back of how, when we would come out and go over each other's house, we would go over Kevin's house and spend time with him and his family, or we go over to Brian's house and spend time with him and his family, and that was, and I live right across the street from Boo and Bam, so we constantly spent time with each other. They used to say, y'all was just together all day, and now y'all talking about y'all want to spend the night.
Well, my house was the hangout too.
Yeah.
When my kids became teenagers, I had always had a house full of teenagers.
Yeah.
I always had a house full of them. Yes. And I think that came from what we learned from being kids and seeing, interacting with one another when we were children from our parents. I learned that from just living on that block. Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah.
That block holds a lot of good memories.
Okay, well, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll pick up where we left off. Okay.
Okay.
Are you tired of shopping for wigs in the back of a beauty supply store? At Random Glam Wigs and Accessories, we give wig lovers the shopping experience they deserve. Personal attention in a chic boutique atmosphere. Fabulous wigs and unique accessories, all at affordable prices. Try on as many wigs as you like. Our friendly glam consultants will be happy to help you find the perfect look to fit your lifestyle. Be a Glamazon and discover Random Glam Wigs and Accessories. We are conveniently located at 7207 South Exchange Avenue in the historic South Shore District. Shop where you're appreciated and get the personal attention you deserve. Visit us online at randomglam.com. Random Glam Wigs and Accessories, 7207 South Exchange Avenue.
Welcome back to the RYC Live show this evening. I am your host tonight, and our special guest tonight is Bonnie Gates and family. So let's talk a little bit more about you. Like, what was your career like as you came out of high school? What did you actually get into doing as a career over the years?
Well, after having 2 children, I was living on the north side. I decided to go back to college. So I went to Truman College and I became a registered nurse.
Okay.
And after finishing, I worked at several hospitals in Chicago in their ICU.
Okay.
That's where I found my love at.
Oh, wow. Nice. Truman Truman College, that was on the north side, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was way up on Wilson.
Yeah.
Way up north.
Yeah.
So I worked at Trinity Hospital. I worked at Roseland Hospital, and believe it or not, a lot of people think that Roseland is the gutter hospital, but that was one of the cleanest hospitals that I worked in. Believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
It was the cleanest. They were on it with their cleansiness.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, a lot of people, and we did ourselves a disservice in the neighborhood because they were trying to turn Roseland into the what do you call those, trauma center.
Okay.
And the people in the neighborhood didn't want it.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of our people are dying, because you have to cross several train tracks to get way at Christ Hospital.
Yeah.
And if a train is coming, you dying.
Yeah. That's a good point. Never thought of it like that.
Yeah. A lot of people, when you call the ambulance and they come pick up grandma, if it's grandma's time, grandma gonna go at Roseland.
Right.
Yeah. They kill people. No, Roseland, no, they worked hard. Those people worked very hard.
Yeah.
I give them big ups on that.
Yeah. I think sometimes too, it also is based on the personal experience, so like you had a good experience, but I think when people have bad experiences, they can't see it no other way. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the first person I've heard.
What I was once saying, oh, don't go to Roseland and this, that, until I started working there.
Okay.
And when I worked, I gave them 2 years.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, it's one of the cleanest hospitals. They knew how to clean the hospital. And it was I think it was more so the anger of the people in the neighborhood. People would come there and be angry because, somebody else in the family then died, or you let my grandma die. No, we didn't. We worked hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, nobody's perfect, so you know,
Yeah, we're not
something.
perfect. We're not
Yeah,
perfect at
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. So you know, hey Bonnie, do you remember? You know, and I just wanted to see if you do, but and I know you say you didn't really go around much, but there was an amusement park on 95th and Stony Island called Funtown.
Yes, I do. Fun town, fun town, fun. My daddy would, oh boy, that my daddy would always, he would have to take 10 children there.
Okay.
And I think it cost like it was like $2.50. That was a lot of money back then to get in there. Oh, we enjoyed that place. Yes. Oh, we were so hurt when they tore it down.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
our own. Oh my goodness, that was. Oh yes, you know I
You know,
know the song and everything.
I remember talking. I talk about that from time to time, and the people that never been there have no clue. They like Funtown. What is that? What was that? You know, like, and you know
The
what?
roller coaster.
It's
Oh
even
yeah, I
it's hard
remember it.
it's hard to find footage and pictures of that place to this day. You know,
You can't not even on the internet.
I've been looking and I haven't been able to find anything. You know, it's very difficult. You know, and I just
Mm,
vividly remember every time we went on 95th, you would see the big old slide. They had this big old blue slide,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that you could get on and slide down.
Hmm.
You
Yes,
know,
yes, yes. That was one of our favorite places to go.
yeah, yeah, yep, fun town, yep.
Yep.
Look, Boo say, let me see what his comment here. Here, hold on, let's see here. He say, "Phew, I love Fun Town."
Yes, 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 yes. He was too young. Come on now. He
But
don't even realize a lot. You know what? A lot of you all were actually like Sam and Kendricks. They were babies. I
mhm.
changed their diapers. All of us. Those was like our little paper dolls when we was little girls.
Right.
Sam and Kendrick.
Yeah,
They were like
yeah,
our paper dolls.
yeah, yeah. Well, see, that's
And
what's so
Sister
interesting.
Denise.
That's what's so interesting when you talk about history, because even though it's not a huge gap, but even a few years when you're young it seems like almost an eternity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
know, you look at somebody that's 4 or 5 years older than you when you were young. That's like, oh, it just seemed like it was a enormous amount of time in terms of age.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but yeah,
Right. And I tell my grandkids now, and they fight me. I'm the oldest, and I'm the oldest. I said, you know what? One day, he's gonna be looking you eyeball to eyeball.
yeah,
Age
yeah,
is not gonna even matter. Y'all gonna be the
yeah,
same size.
yeah, yeah. You know, real quick, here's just a quick short story. But my mom, she was pregnant with my sister because I was the only child for 13 years. And so my sister was born when I was 13. And this is a quick story, but she met Boo and Bam's mom because Candy was pregnant with Thomas Jr. And you know,
I
and
remember. You know
and
what? I remember a lot of them being pregnant.
yeah, but just check this
I,
out.
I remember Lil Lisa's mama being pregnant with her.
Okay, okay. But this is what I
Yeah.
think was this is why I think this was so interesting for me because you know, like my mom, she lived in the house, but she would from time to time she would have her own apartment. So and
Hmm.
Thomas Jr. and my sister Tina were born in 1983. And I
Hmm.
never forget it because Thomas Jr. was born in August and my sister was born in September. So they was born right behind, you know, right around she was born after Thomas Jr., you know, but they were born in
Hmm.
the same year. And it was tripped out because, you know, my mom and Candy, you know, Boom Bam's mom met, you know, each other, and that's how they became friends, you know,
Yeah.
and then obviously me and Boom Bam became friends. So it's just interesting to see the role and the development of how we became friends and family, basically. You know, like you was just saying, you remember when Lisa was, you know, being, and that's why it's like, you think about, these are great memories that we have, like all of these memories, you can't, they're priceless. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was so glad, that we were able to come together for this block reunion, because,
I can't wait. I can't wait until next year.
Yeah,
I
because,
can't wait.
it was something that had been going on in my mind. Initially, I had wanted to do it just among me and the fellas. But then I started thinking, I said, well, we're going to be on the block. So what if we just had a whole block reunion? And then when I started talking to Mike and Lisa, they was like, yeah, let's do it. So, and it seemed like it was almost going to be impossible to do, because it had. I don't think we've ever had a block reunion before. At least I've never been to one. I remember.
No, we had them. We had them when we first. Well, they wasn't called reunions, but they were called the block parties. We had several of them when we were coming up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they were just block parties back when we were on a block like that. But this was
because they had like the block president and all of that. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
It's cutting off.
Uh-oh. I can still hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know if we're having a connection problem right now. But we're in the 1 hour mark. It is 9:01 right now, and we're still broadcasting live. I'm trying to see if Bonnie is having a Bonnie.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, it might just be sometimes the connection kind of goes in and out, but I hear you now.
Yeah, I noticed that when it rains,
okay,
even if it's not in our state, that it interferes with the phone and everything, TV and everything. I don't.
Looks like it might be her phone. Her phone must have went out. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you would like to add? I was trying to think of some other things to bring up. Let's see here. Boo just sent us a comment here. He says, me and Lisa is exactly a month apart. Our moms were pregnant at the same time, like me and your mom.
Yeah. Believe it or not, yes. Yeah. A lot. I seen a lot. Kevin. I think Andre. Yeah, I know for a fact. I've seen Ruby pregnant with Kevin.
Okay. Yeah. That's wonderful. Well, hopefully next year when we do the reunion again, we'll be able to do some more additional things that we didn't get a chance to do this year. And one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted us to be able to do some short stories and be able to record the stories, just like we're having a discussion right now. Yeah. And then I also wanted us to take pictures, family pictures, individual
that would
pictures.
Be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And just share these memories that we got, the time we have left.
Yeah. Because it's clicking now. The time is clicking. I'm 61 now, so I got many years of memory on that block.
Yeah.
Many years, and I love Chicago. I love Chicago.
Okay.
I think Chicago is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, because that's an interesting question. Because a lot of people have their, what's the word? They have certain things that they dislike about Chicago. But what makes you like Chicago so much?
I just love that we can get from one spot to another with ease. Chicago has good water. I tell everybody that. I say Chicago got some good water. I'm sorry. They got the best water. It does have they do have a sense of love. It's not as cluttered. I've been to New York, so New York is very cluttered.
Yes.
very, very cluttered.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
the downtown area is just simply beautiful, and the beach and all of that. We have plenty of beach area,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's just beautiful. I really like Chicago. That's home.
Yeah. I've been fighting for the past years actually to help people to understand and appreciate more about Chicago, because I feel like, when it comes to not just the block that we come up off of, but the city in which we live in is like you say, it has a lot to offer, and many people only look at the negative that they hear and see on the news and things of that nature. But like Chicago, people, when I travel and go out of town, and I see other people in other cities, and then they say, well, where you from? And I tell them I'm from Chicago. It's that negative connotation where people are like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, you
that comes from the news.
yeah,
That
they
comes from the news.
you're from Chicago, where where the city of the gangsters, where you used to be, and things of that nature. And I'm like, but we still have a lot of great things. Chicago is has a lot of great food here. It has house music is developed here in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of great architecture here in Chicago.
Yes. Chicago is beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
When I went to New York, I couldn't understand why they make such a big deal out of New York. I could not understand that. I said, this place is nasty, it's crowded.
Yeah. So I think you have to really make the best of where you're from. I love Chicago too. I don't even know if I left Chicago where I would move to. And that is true what you said. One thing about it, we have great transportation. I don't like to live in no city.
Transportation,
I mean,
it's easy getting from one, because just from living out here in South Bend,
yeah,
they have transportation, but I don't know how to ride it.
Yeah.
Chicago, you can just walk to the corner and you go.
Yeah.
But they have buses coming down the block and turning, and I'm like, wait a minute now.
Yeah, and like when I went to Texas, I got family that live in Texas. When I went down there, the buses stopped running on the weekend.
That's how it is out here. The bus stopped running. I think they stopped running at about 8 o'clock.
I said, well, wait a minute. I said, how do you get around if you ain't got no car? And they said, well, you just can't go nowhere if you don't got a car, because no buses are running. I said, oh no, see, I can't live in. I got to be in a place where I can go.
That's the one thing I said. Chicago has good transportation. You can run into somebody crazy on the train, but I think any city that has transportation as large as ours is you're gonna run into some people that ain't all there.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What's some of your favorite restaurants in Chicago that you might remember or like?
I like the Ponderosa, which has been closed. That was one of my favorite, but that was in the suburbs.
Yeah.
I like Pappy's.
Okay.
And then there's a pizza place. One of my favorite is Baracco's Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Let me think of the other pizza place. As my mom worked at Northwestern, there was one downtown near one of the famous ones. I'm trying to think of the name of that place. They had that was what we take the first deep dish.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah. We see Chicago is known for the pizza too.
Yeah.
What about that popcorn? You like Garrett's popcorn?
Oh yeah. That was one of my favorites. My brother stopped and got some. Let me see. In the Rosen area, I love Pappy's.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorites. The steak shop down there.
Yeah.
The donuts.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lot of Chicago got good eating.
We gotta talk about this one. Boo just typed it in here. Let me put it up. He said, don't forget GMB. You remember the barbecue place on 103rd?
Oh yeah. GMB's and what was the other one? that was further down on Halsted.
Further down on Halsted.
It was down on 103rd and Halsted. It was bigger than G&B's. Oh yeah, G&B's had them off the chain Polishes. Big old foot long Polish.
Yeah.
Eat that. Hey, you fool.
Yeah.
What was the name of that other place?
Yeah.
G&B's. I cannot even think of it for nothing.
I'm trying to think of that one too, because now my family used to also go to another nice restaurant in terms of the food on 111 called the Hoagie, home of the Hoagie.
Oh yeah, the Hoagie shop. Yep. They're still there.
Yeah,
they're still there.
Yeah.
Got me wanting some steaks. Got me wanting some steaks. Ooh, that was good. Yes, baby.
Yeah, and
that's what Monique said. I got to have me when she came. I got to have me a steak sandwich.
Yeah,
she wanted somebody to take her to the steak sandwich, and I think she went and got one.
Yeah, and they used to have, they still got good fries with that Mal sauce on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good restaurants, right in the hood.
And do you remember going to the Evergreen Plaza on 95th in Western?
Oh yeah. That shocked me too.
Yeah.
To see that was gone.
Yes.
But they said that it was kind of dilapidated and just kind of, crumbling.
Yeah. But it was definitely a good time when it was,
up and running.
Yeah.
So now it's just the chain stores, right?
Yeah. They remodeled it, but it's definitely not the same. Yeah, it's definitely not the same, and it's not like a mall anymore. It's more like you can't
individual stores.
Yeah, individual stores. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here's another one. Boo say pizza ribs and things. I forgot about them. I think they were 103rd, right?
I think that's the one. No, that was going down the hill.
Right. That's why I say 103rd.
Yeah, on 103rd by King Drive.
Yeah, exactly.
That one was down there. Theirs was good, but not like G&B.
No, I agree.
There was Piece of Ribs and Things was second, if the line was too long at G&B, then you just go there. Then you just was hungry, your stomach was kicking you, and you wanted to eat, you go there. Because they had greasy pizza. I remember them because of that greasy pizza. You could pour the grease off of it. The pizza.
And what about Rip Brothers? Rip Brothers is still up there today too, right? On 103rd, right off of Michigan.
Yeah, I think they're still operating. And then they had the laundromat, the one and only laundromat, where you could take your clothes and them,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what was at the Walgreens. I can't remember. I cannot picture what was there. What the Walgreens is there now, but what was it there? See, that's what I need my family for.
Oh, somebody Pam say Rip Brothers is closed.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Well, I guess they probably got ran out of business from Menards and Lowe's.
Yeah, they was open for many years.
Yeah, they was the number one before Lowe's and Menards. It's hard to compete with some of these stores.
Yeah. Boo say car lot. I don't know if he's referring to your question about what was there at Walgreens.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to picture. I can see the newspaper stand and AMPs, but I would have to see some pictures.
Yeah. Sometimes that'll help when you see the pictures.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Great memories, And that's why I say hopefully we can even go through some of the family pictures, for next year and be able to share some of those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of us have lost our parents. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of us have lost both parents. They're no longer here. The
Right.
people that originally brought those homes,
Mm-hmm.
they are no longer here. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, also, I talked to a lady that she said she lived in y'all building. Her name is Denise.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Your
That's
cousin, okay.
my auntie's children.
Okay.
She moved there in that house back in 1968 too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wanted to come to the reunion this year, but she had to work.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of people had to work, but I said, I'm going to tell people next year, look, make sure you get those days off.
See, and we already got the date locked in. So
Yeah.
August 25th through the 27th. So people got
Yeah.
plenty of time to plan.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was a great it turned out better than I had expected.
Yes, it did. And you know something, another thing that I want to mention is the fact that our friends out that did not live on our block was attracted to our block.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, because some of the people came to the reunion this
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them showed up. People that did not grow up on that block, but met one of us from either school or
right.
And they were there because they had good memories of our block.
Yeah.
We had a good block.
Yeah. I even heard some people saying that they want to do a block reunion on their block now because they seen what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was yeah. I definitely and that's cool because it's like you said, we attracted people, just like we went on other blocks. We went on other blocks as well. But I think we attracted people on our block, to some degree.
Hanging out on our block. Our block was, it wasn't no fighting, but we knew how to turn it up and have fun with one another. We had good times with one another.
Yeah.
And you know something? I honestly cannot remember as a child any of us fighting with one another.
Okay.
I can't remember. We argued, but fighting. No, that didn't happen.
Yeah. We all had, like you said, we all had our, maybe our disagreements and things of that nature. But that's you do that in your family, right?
That's how family behave. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that still don't mean that you're not family just because you had a disagreement.
Right. You're right about that.
So, but yeah, definitely, you all, your family, the Chase family, the Brown family, the Reddings. I remember Nichelle, who's deceased now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember she was cool people. You know what I'm saying? I remember she wanted me to teach her how to do graffiti art. And she used to kind of hang with us sometime, and
that was one of the really heart wrenching deaths on the block when she died.
Yeah, definitely.
That touched all of our hearts because everybody knew one another. We knew one another.
Yeah, that's right. Boo say, Tan. Yeah, he said Tan. That was the name that we had gave her. Tan 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, matter of fact, I think I still have her obituary in my collection.
I think I might have it too.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have hers too.
Yeah.
I have just about anybody that passed on the block. I have obituary. I don't really like to show people because people will just ease them out. They become theirs.
Yeah, Kim. She definitely. Yeah, she's no longer with us. I have to look at the obituary because I believe it was like 1989 or 1990 or something like that.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
Yeah, okay.
I think she was either in a freshman in high school. She might not even been in high school.
Okay. Yeah, I had to look it up because it was shocking to all of us, like you said.
Yeah, the whole blood touched everybody. We could not believe that.
And I think this is a good thing too for us to keep in touch with what's going on with each other because some of us don't even. Yeah, Boo said it was 1989. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us don't even know that how we've lost some of the family members over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my sister. My sister Barbara, she had lupus and she died from complications from lupus. And my brother Ronnie, this is a hard one. We just found him dead.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we definitely have to keep everyone in our prayers.
Keep everybody in the prayers and everything. And he wasn't no drug addict or no alcoholic or nothing. And we truly believe he had a heart attack or like through a blood clot in his legs because his legs was always hurting him.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, any additional things you'd like to share before we conclude? This has been definitely great. I really appreciate
I want to send some shout outs. Shout out to my big little sister Pam, because she's my big little sister. My big little brother DeWitt, and to my nieces Labria and Jania. Let me see who else. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
I love all of them.
Yeah. And you know who else I didn't know that was related to you? LaShawn.
Not LaShawn Wilson.
No, not her.
My cousin, Shiny Baby.
Yeah, Shiny Baby. Yeah, that's what she said. Y'all call her. Shiny Baby.
Her mom and my dad was sisters and brothers. So she's my first cousin.
Okay. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you really would be surprised at who you may be connected to when you talk about history.
Right. You'd be surprised at who knows who that knows who that knows who.
Yeah, because I was like, wow, I did not know. When she said, my family on the block, I said, who? She's like the Gates. I said, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been good. So shout out to the entire family, brothers and sisters alike, and the rest of the family and friends on the block of 101st. And then I want to send a shout out to my team, the RYC Live family, and just to Chicago. We gotta represent this. RYC Live stands. RYC Live stands for Rep Your City. So
that's right. Love me some Chicago. I love me. This one right here loves Chicago.
And look, by the way, shout out to everybody that's no longer in Chicago, that come from Chicago, that have moved to other cities.
Yeah. Well, we moved here because my daughter got a better job, so that's why we're here.
Yeah.
But Chicago is home, and Chicago will always be home. I love me some Chicago.
Yes.
But I like it out here. It's nice and quiet and everything. But like I said, some real lazy people out here.
This is my partner checking in, Mr. RYC Live himself. He's just checking in saying, yo.
Okay. Hey, yo.
So it's been great. I enjoyed it. I hope
enjoyed it too.
Enjoyed it. Did your brother have anything he'd like to share before we conclude?
No, he's upstairs.
Oh, okay.
He did say that he wanted to to be invited on to talk about some of the rough things that went on in the neighborhood.
Okay. Well, we're not done. This is just the beginning. So
Okay.
we're gonna have some more shows with some of the other members from the block. So I know Lisa and her sister Regina is gonna come on the show, and also the Chase family is gonna be coming up soon.
All
So,
right,
you
now.
know, yeah.
Yes. I got some good old memories. At Lisa and Regina don't know the good memories I have with their dad. I would be coming home from college, and I would see him on the train, and he'd say, "Come sit next to me, Bonnie, because you look so tired." And I sleep all the way to the south side in his arms. He'd wake me. I'd be so tired. I'd just be laid up on him, sleep. And he said, "You're 95th now." And then we get on the bus and I go right back to sleep. He always encouraged me too. He gave me a lot of encouragement. Because I would sometimes just get on there and say, "I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just so doggone hard." He said, "You can do it. If you done made it this far, you can go further."
Yeah. Oh, my homeboy checking in at the last hour here. Let's give a shout out to Brother DeWitt Gates checking in from Carolina, North Carolina.
Hey, DeWitt. Yes, that's my little big brother, y'all. Yes.
Shout out to Brother DeWitt checking in from North Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So I just want to salute everyone. Thank all of you for tuning in to the show. Thank you, Bonnie, for taking the time out and having courage to do this, because not everybody likes to get in front of a camera, right?
Yeah. Well, I think being a nurse took away a lot of shyness and everything, because you had to speak.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we will be back again next Friday with another episode of the RYC Live Rep Your City Fresh Friday show. But y'all be on the lookout for the Chase family. They're going to be coming up. I just have to complete the flyer. So Kim, let me know the details. If your other sister Tina, and if Pam wants to be a part of it, all three of y'all can be on it. We can make it happen.
Yes, that doctor.
Okay, so this will conclude, and hey, thank you once again so much. Thank you
for having me.
Yeah,
thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.
Yes, and I'm glad you were able to get some assistance, because sometimes this technology is a little challenging, for people trying to figure out how to get in here. And
these kids, even a 4-year-old probably could have showed me how to hook it up. They know how to work it.
Yeah. So, all righty then. So you all can also, if some of the other family members and friends didn't actually tune in live, they can go back and look at the playback. And again, like I said, it'll be saved on our platform, on our page, Rep Your City RYC Live, because we have 2 pages, and then our YouTube channel, which is RYC Live. So either one of those areas, you can find it, and then you could share it on your Facebook page. You can send a link to other people privately or whatever, just so they can see it.
Okay, I enjoyed myself. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Okay.
Yes. All right, and you enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you back around on the next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.